If you've been thinking about opening your solo law firm, you probably have 50 different things running through your head right now. What kind of entity do I need? How much money do I need? How long will it take? What kind of software do I use? Do I need clients? Do I need a brick and mortar office? What if I open my doors and my phone doesn't ring? No one calls. And this giant list is why a lot of lawyers don't do it. They don't open their own law firm. So in this video, I want to simplify the entire process. I'm Darcel Lobo, a solo attorney who teaches you how to open and build a successful law firm. We're going to break this down into 5 steps to make it more manageable for you, to make it less overwhelming. And if you can work your way through these 5 steps, you have the foundation that you need to open your solo law firm. And that's what we all want, right? To open our law firm and to start serving clients. So let's get into it. First, we need to figure out what is it that you're building. I know it's fun to pick out logos and website and design things, but what are we actually building here with your law firm? I'm talking about your practice areas, who your ideal clients are, who you're going to be serving, what services will you offer in your law firm, what problem are you going to be solving? And that's really the bottom line when we're working through practice areas and things like that. Like, what is the problem that you're solving? Who has that problem? Like, that's all you need to know. And along those same lines, you're going out on your own because you probably want control over your time and money. So how many hours do you want to work? What is your calendar going to look like? For your clients, are you going to bill hourly or flat fee or some kind of hybrid? Are you going to have a contingency type practice? And for me, when I went out on my own, which is over 10 years ago now, the bottom line question for me was, what did I want my life to look like? That is what drove me to go out on my own. Sure, all the other perks are great, but I knew I wanted my life to look a certain way, and I did not have that, and I wasn't going to have that working for somebody else. The only way to have it and to really take control over my career and over my life was to go out on my own. That was the only option. And for so many of my law firm owners, they are in that same boat. They are faced with that decision that they are done making all the sacrifices for someone else, for a boss, for managing partners. They want to do it for themselves. And so we want to keep in mind, what do you want your life to look like? What kind of practice are we building? Because the last thing you want to do is just create another job for yourself. Like, why even leave your current firm in the first place, right? Let's be intentional when we're opening your law firm. For me, having success in my law firm meant having that control and autonomy, like over my schedule, what clients I worked with, what my workload looked like, what my time commitment was going to have to be. And if those things matter to you as well, we need to build them in from the very beginning, in the foundation of your law firm. And speaking of foundation, if you do not have one yet, you need a business plan for your law firm. And lucky for you, I have a free one for you here that is designed for law firm owners. So if you don't have that, make sure you grab that and start filling it out so we can create a strong foundation to build your law firm upon. Next, we need to figure out your numbers. This is where we talk about money, and you need to know some numbers. First of all, what is it going to cost you to open your law firm? This number does not need to be a big number. I have talked on this channel so many times about opening your law firm on on a budget, like having a lean law firm until you have the revenue coming in to pay for the additional things. So we need to know your initial out-of-pocket for forming your LLC and getting your website, making sure you have your licensing, getting malpractice insurance. Malpractice insurance, I have also told you, if you're first starting out on your own, you probably don't have a full-time caseload of clients. So when you're shopping for a malpractice policy, make sure you find a policy holder that will offer you a part-time policy that probably will cover you for at least the first few months or so until you are busy enough to need a full-time malpractice insurance policy. Then we can also talk about any kind of marketing expenses and getting your email and software, and if you need practice management software, like making this full list of expenses. Again, this is in your free business plan. But then once you've made that list of these possible expenses, I'm going to need you to go through and trim that down. What is a need versus what is a want? I told you when I first started out, I did not have practice management software. I had a whiteboard. I did not have any kind of bookkeeping software or a bookkeeper. I literally had a Word document. So you don't need all the bells and whistles to have a successful law firm. So make your list of out-of-pocket expenses and then go through and trim it down to what you actually need and then what would be nice to have once you have revenue coming in to support paying for it. And aside from what it's going to cost you to open your law firm, what is it going to cost you on a monthly basis to operate your law firm? A lot of things you sign up will have a monthly fixed like subscription fee, or you're going to have a monthly rent. What are those expenses going to be? Again, making sure we're focused on the ones that you need, not the ones that you want. And so if it's going to cost you $3,000 a month in overhead to run your law firm, you need to know that. So many law firm owners I talk to don't actually know what it costs to run their law firm. They have an idea, but they don't actually know the numbers. They don't know what it costs and what they need to bring in to pay the overhead, to pay themselves, have enough set aside for taxes, like all the different things. You need to know what that number is. When you're just starting out and it's just you don't have as many expenses. You don't have as much overhead. But make sure you know from day one what it costs you to operate your law firm on a monthly basis. And then we reverse engineer what you need every month to figure out how many clients you need, right? So if your average client matter is $5,000 and your overhead you want to bring in, $10,000 a month, well, that's just 2 clients a month, right? And so if your, average client matter is $1,500 or $8,000, whatever it is, we can reverse engineer those numbers and figure out, okay, how many paid clients do you need per month? And looking at your conversion rates, you can figure out, okay, how many consults do you need a month in order to get that many clients you need per month to cover the overhead and pay yourself and all the things that you need to bring into your law firm. So it's very easy to do that math once we actually know the numbers. And when it comes to numbers, like the bottom line is that we're not going into this blind. We're not just crossing our fingers in hopes that it all works out and hope that we can cover all of our expenses. Like, no, we're going to know our numbers, know what our goals are, know what we need, and then plan accordingly. And this next one is the most important step, which is how are you going to get clients? What is the plan to bring clients in the door? Because I don't care how great of a lawyer you are. I don't care how amazing your website looks. I don't care about your logo. If you don't have clients coming in the door and paying you, none of that matters. So how are we going to get clients in your door? So let's make this easy. Let's make a list of where you're going to find your first 10 clients. Because that's doable, right? You don't got to think about the whole year or the next 5 years. Your first 10 clients. Where will they come from? Where are your clients going when they have a problem that you can help them solve? So we're going to start with people that you know, that already know you, people that already trust you and would refer you. So we're talking about other lawyers, colleagues, friends, family, acquaintances. Depending on your practice area, maybe it's therapists, maybe it's financial planners, maybe it's accountants or tax preparers, maybe it's real estate agents, maybe it's people in your local community. Like, where are your clients going? Who are they talking to when they have that problem that you can help with? That is what's going to make up your list of where your first 10 clients are going to come from. Because you're not going to open your law firm up on day one and compete with every other law firm on Google in your hometown. Like, that is not the plan for marketing when you first launch. We want to have a plan to have a digital presence and claim your digital real estate, yes. But that's not where your first few clients are going to come from. They're going to come from other people. And when you've made your list and when you're talking to people, make sure you're not just telling people, oh yeah, I opened a law firm. Like, no, that tells them nothing. You're going to tell them, I help insert type of client with insert legal problem. So whatever that is, fill in that blank for yourself. If you're doing criminal law, if you're doing family law, if you're doing immigration, even in those practice areas, I would love to see you kind of niche that down a little bit to if you do personal injury work, do you focus on dog bites or auto injuries or wrongful death, or like what type of PI work do you focus on to help that referral, that potential referral source, identify who would be a good fit for you. And while we are going to focus on our referral network, because word of mouth is everything, and that's where like the best clients come from, are from word of mouth, we are going to develop kind of a more comprehensive marketing plan. So besides just people that you know, we'll want to develop a list of people that you probably need to get to know, what your online presence is going to be, claiming your Google profile, filling that out, filling out legal directories if that applies to you, showing up on social media. Don't pick all the platforms. You cannot do YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Like, you can't do all that. Pick one, pick two. Facebook. You can't do all those. Pick one or pick two. Stick with that. And before you've opened your law firm, create that content like now, right? Write the posts, pick the images, make the carousels, record the videos, whatever you're going to do it now. If you're doing a blog, get 20 blogs written now, and then get them all scheduled, your blogs, your posts, whatever. Because once you've actually opened your law firm, you're going to be real busy. And don't forget about the power of your local community. I know post-COVID, everybody wants to do everything remote. Nobody wants to be in person. No one wants to show up. I get it. But the best relationships, the best referral sources are people that I have met in real life, that I've actually been at an event with. I've actually talked to. Yes, you can meet over Zoom and have a virtual coffee with somebody, but like actually meeting someone in person, talking with them in real life, seeing their mannerisms, seeing if you vibe, like you don't pick up on all those things over video. You just don't. Actually meeting somebody in person and developing that relationship, because these meetings you're having with new people in your network, these are not one-time meetings. You should be following up with them, keeping in connection with them over the long term. This is not a short-term game. This is long-term for the success of your law firm. That's why I have all my law firm owners make a tracker, like a list of all their contacts, everyone in their network. And not only do we track the people and their contact information, but we also track when did you last interact with them. Because that's important. If you haven't talked to somebody in 12 months, you should reach out, because you need to stay on top of mind when they run into somebody who has an issue that you can help with. Okay, now let's get into a fun one. And this one also, I wouldn't say it was like one of the scariest things I did, but it was something that actually made my law firm real before I opened it. And that was picking my launch date. What date was my law firm going to open? Because I've shared with you, I told you that I had thought about going out on my own for 2, almost 3 years before I actually did it. But then come about September or October of 2015, I had decided that enough was enough. I was done talking about it. I was done thinking about it. I was done telling myself that I couldn't do it. And that is when I put my date on the calendar, and I did not change that date. That date was a date that I was planning to open my law firm, and that is the date I opened, which was March 1st, 2016. Like, that is my law firm's birthday. Like, that is a date my law firm was born. But actually putting that date on my calendar made it so much more real. So if you have not picked your date to open your law firm, I would highly encourage you to pick that date now. Not 3 months from now, not 6 months from now, not 18 months from now. Like, no. January 1st, 2027. Or April 1st, 2027. Like, actually pick a real, tangible date and put that on your calendar. Because if you don't pick a date, then just talking about opening your law firm and thinking about it, like, it's kind of just like a hobby, like something that you do on the side, and you continue to watch more and more CLEs and more videos, which, thank you for being here, but I want to encourage you to actually take action. I don't want you to just binge my videos and then not do anything with it. Like, I want you to do something with it. I want you to open your law firm. I want you to build a successful law firm for yourself that allows you to live the life that you want to live and to make the income you want to make and have the freedom and the flexibility and all the things that comes with it. Don't just listen to me talk about it. I want you to actually do something. There's always more books to read. There's always more podcasts to listen to. There's always more blogs and more email lists. Like, there's always more things that you can do. None of that is going to make you feel ready until you actually start taking action. And again, we don't feel ready. Like, ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. So are you going to decide that you are ready to open your law firm? And if you are, pick your date. Put it on the calendar. And if you're so inclined, let me know your date below. I would love to see the date that all of you are planning to open your law firm. Like, that would be amazing to see what the future holds for you and what the plans are and what you're looking at for the future for yourself, for your life, for your career, and how you are taking control over that. And so it doesn't matter what your date is, if it's 30 days from now, 90 days from now, 6 months from now, like, whatever the date is that's right for you, that's right for you, and I love that for you. But I want you to actually pick a date, because then we can reverse engineer it and work backwards and figure out what you need to do and the order you need to do it in. If we don't have a date, if you just want to go out on your own at some point in time next year, it's hard to have a concrete plan to know what you should do and when you should do it in the order of operations and things of going out on your own. Like, I don't know when you should make your website. I don't know when you should purchase your LLC. I don't know when you should, invest in any kind of software, because we don't know when you're going to open. And I don't want you paying for things now that you are not going to need for 12 or 18 months from now, right? And so by actually picking that date and committing to it for yourself allows you to actually tangibly start creating the law firm that you're planning for. Whether you're still in law school, whether you're working for somebody else, like wherever you are in your career as a lawyer and becoming a law firm owner, there still are things that we can do to create your law firm for yourself if we know when that's going to happen. And you know how I said, like, being ready is not a feeling. You don't feel ready. You decide that you're ready. Along those same lines, your law firm there's never going to be a perfect date to open your law firm. Like, I haven't, and all the law firm owners I have talked to over the years, and I talked to a lot of people, like, there's no perfect date. That perfect date is whatever date you decide and commit to and that you act on and that you actually open your law firm. That's the perfect date. So if you're waiting until you have a perfect date, or if you're waiting until you have a perfect website or a perfect logo, or like, none of that is going to happen. I've had my law firm's website for 10 years and I am redoing it right now. There are still things on it that I don't like, that I want to tweak. I review and update my website every year. And I just did a video maybe 2 or 3 videos ago about having a kick-ass website for your law firm. So if you haven't watched that one, watch that one also. But like, none of these things are going to be perfect. Like the logo for my law firm, like, I like it. It's good. Is it the best? No. It's the same one I've had this whole time. I'm not changing it. My clients don't care. They don't care about my logo, right? Like, we care about it, but nobody else really does. I don't know. That's my opinion. Don't let the need for perfection delay your dreams and your goals. Don't let that give you another reason or excuse to procrastinate, to drag your feet, to not take action on what you want for yourself or your career. Like, I don't know any lawyer who went to law school so they can become unhappy and miserable in their career. Like, I talk to so many unhappy lawyers who want to get out of where they are and go out on their own, but there's something holding them back. Usually it's themselves. Usually they are in their own way. But it's just like, we didn't work this hard and come this far to be unhappy. And I know that for you as well. Like, you want something better for yourself, whatever that may be. I don't know why you're going solo, but you know why you're going solo. You know what's pushed you to think about this and consider this as an option for you. and to kind of wonder, like, can I do that? Can I go solo? Would that work for me? Can I make that work? Can I figure that out? Yes. Yes to all those questions. Yes. This is coming from somebody who never planned to go out on my own. That was never the plan. And here I am over 10 years in telling you it was the best decision I ever made for myself, that I ever made for my career, and allowed me to show up for myself in a way that I hadn't for a really long time prior to that. And along the same lines of waiting for perfection and all of its different iterations, just know that like you're going to make mistakes. When you go out on your own and you're figuring these things out, even watching all the videos, even having coaching with somebody like me, right? Like you still have to figure some of these things out on your own and figure out what works and what doesn't work for you and for your firm and for your clients. And that's the beauty of it, that you get to decide. And if you don't like something, you get to change it. You get to decide what is a good fit or what's not a good fit. Like you have total control. There's no boss telling you what you can or can't do, that you can't try this or you can't charge this. Like you get to decide all those things for yourself, what you think is best. And for, I think most of my lawyers who are working at a firm and want to go out on their own, like they know that they could practice law better. They know that the way that they want to do it is better than the way than how they're being forced to do it right now at their firm. Like they know that. Like my lawyers that I work with, like they know what they're doing. They know how to be a lawyer and practice law. It's just the business side that I'm here helping them with, guiding them through, helping them figure out how to do these things. A lot of times helping them kind of jump through or work through obstacles that sometimes are themselves, sometimes they're in their own way, and I can be in my own way many a time. So I understand that wholeheartedly. And so I'm here to help you. You already know how to be a great lawyer. I'm helping you be a great business owner and to kind of think about things differently and approach your work differently. Because again, no matter how great of a lawyer you are, your law firm will flop if you don't prioritize the business of being a law firm owner first. Being a lawyer, that comes later. That is not even second. Like that is so far down the line of all the things that you do once you open your own law firm. But I would not have it any other way. And my law firm owners who also have opened their law firms, built it from scratch, and have built it up to something that they are just so proud of and have worked so hard for. Like they wouldn't have it any other way. I think a lot of us are kicking ourselves in our pants for like, why didn't we do this sooner? Why did we wait so long? Why did we doubt ourselves? Why did we think we couldn't do it? Like, because here I am every day showing up, doing the work, like getting it done and proving to myself that I can do this. And my other law firm owners are proving to themselves that they can do this, because we already know we can do hard things. But sometimes we have to just prove it to ourselves that we can show up and do hard things for ourselves and support ourselves and push ourselves a little bit outside of our comfort zone to try new things, to try new challenges, to take some risks. I know we're all risk adverse, but it is going to require you to take a little bit of risk. But the risk is that you are betting on yourself. And so if you know that you're willing to show up and to do the work, then the risk is pretty minimal, right? Because you're betting on yourself. Okay, so if building your law firm feels overwhelming, the notion of it is just so big and vague, we boiled this down to 5 steps today. Deciding what you're building, knowing what your numbers are, figuring out what you need for a minimum viable law firm. It doesn't take much to open your law firm. Figure out your plan for getting clients, and then picking your launch date, getting that on your calendar. Those are the 5 steps. That's what it boils down to. You don't need to know exactly what your law firm will look like 5 years from now. You don't even need to know what your law firm is going to look like 1 year from now. Yeah, we'll make some goals and some projections and things to work towards, but it's not your business to know what the next 1, 3, 5 years is going to hold. What it is your business to know is how are you going to get that first client? How are you going to do an amazing job for them and give it your all and knock it out of the park? And then we do that again for client number 2 and client number 3 and client number 4. And before you know it, those first 12 months have passed And you're earning more money than you did at your law firm you were working for before. And we just keep building and growing from there. And the momentum continues to just increase year after year for yourself. And remember, the goal isn't to have a perfect law firm. The goal is to get your law firm open. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you watch this one next I have for you. And I'll see you later.